Welcome to the second video on looking at indicators of maths difficulties. I'm Jennings from the Dyscalculia Network, and today I'm going to discuss how memory impacts pupils who are struggling with maths by looking at three main types: long-term, short-term and working memory. Long-term memory is the ability to store information which can be retrieved again after a reasonably long period of time. Some people find that getting maths information securely into their long-term memory is a natural and powerful skill, but some don't. There seems to be a strong belief in our schools that practice makes perfect and that all children can learn their times table facts and retrieve them quickly. But our experience leads us often to the contrary, which says it's much more complex than that. Long-term memory difficulties make it hard for us to remember by heart number facts, such as number bonds for 10, or procedures, such as formal column arithmetic. Some people have specific long-term memory difficulties for verbally encoded facts, and therefore presenting topics orally in class will be meaningless to them. We should therefore teach concepts using multi-sensory methods and learnt facts revised regularly to prevent them from fading and disappearing completely over time. Short-term memory is a memory that is held for only a brief time and then it's gone, and no amount of concentration will get it back. Teachers have often been guilty of compounding the negative experience by saying, "But I've already told you that 3 times already." What we need to be aware of is that if instructions or information exceeds the listener's short-term memory, then it will all be forgotten, which is a waste of time for the teacher and totally ineffective and frustrating for the pupil. Teachers should therefore adjust the way they communicate by writing notes on a display or a board, or allow the learner to do that for themselves on an iPad or a whiteboard. Short-term memory weaknesses can even lead to a pupil forgetting what the actual question was before they've got anywhere near reaching an answer. As a result, very little learning is transferred securely into their long-term memory, and they solve the same question again and again, as if they'd never encountered it in the first place. Working memory. This is used to carry out step-by-step procedures and reasoning. Working memory enables information to be held in our minds whilst performing other activities, such as calculations, using that given information. New information can be derived from known facts, such as bonds for 10, by using working memory rather than learning a large number of facts by heart. For example, if I know that 10 is made of 7 and 3, then I can reason that 10 minus 3 is 7. Imagine a teacher reading out a word problem in class. Pupils with weak working memory will have difficulty grabbing and holding on to that incoming information. A learner may know how to do different kinds of calculations. However, they often run into trouble with word problems, where they find it difficult to listen to clue words, which will indicate which operation to use, while at the same time remembering the numbers that they have to use to plug into an equation. Working memory can be broken down into 2 types. Auditory working memory. This enables the retention of information received verbally for a short period of time, which is either sent into the secure long-term memory or into the short-term memory for immediate use. Pupils with weak auditory working memory will be unable to follow verbal instructions given in class. Typically, pupils with numeracy difficulties cannot easily select an appropriate strategy to solve a problem, nor can they remember or follow the steps of a procedure for working out a calculation successfully. The pupil might be seen as slow to work out an answer to a verbal question, but it could be just that they have lost track of what they were doing in the first place while attempting to solve the question. The second type of working memory is called visual working memory. This refers to memory when thinking about non-verbal things, such as objects and pictures, which are manipulated into different forms in our minds. For example, an architect might walk into a house and imagine the current area reconfigured into different spaces. This is important in numeracy as it involves the interpretation, retention, and manipulation of patterns, shapes, and sequences. Pupils with weak visual working memory find it difficult to see and manipulate in their own mind patterns with numbers or sequences. For example, they might find it difficult to think about the different combinations of numbers which make 7, 3 and 4, 5 and 2, 6 and 1, etc. Also, pupils may have a profound difficulty in following visual patterns, which often form guidelines for instructions. Learners with a weak visual working memory tend to learn more facts off by heart to reduce the excessive demands on their working memory. I'd like to finish this discussion by pointing out that some pupils with maths difficulties, or dyscalculia, may have very good long-term memory and can learn times tables successfully. However, they may not know how to apply or extend the facts to use them to solve problems in maths. Thank you very much for listening.